Hey guys, it's Sarah. Today's video is going to be a tag video. I feel like I haven't done a tag in a really long time. I just haven't seen very many going around, but I just a couple days ago saw Jen Loves Reviews post the beauty consumer tag, and this tag was actually started by someone whose channel name is 90s Love Child. So I'll link both down below, but first of all, I thought these questions were really relevant to the kinds of things that I talk about on my channel, and I also thought it would be a fun way to reflect on the last year of my makeup consumerism and maybe start thinking about what I want my 2020 year to look like as far as my makeup purchasing habits. So let's go ahead and get into the questions. I feel like these are really insightful questions. The first one is, how much do you spend on makeup a month and a year? So I actually went through my budget spreadsheet where I keep track of all my spending every month, and this is a rough estimate because the way I do my budget spreadsheet is let's say I went to Target and I spent $56 and I bought a mix of makeup and home items and like a couple grocery items. I don't necessarily break down exactly how much I spent on makeup, so it's hard to say exactly how much I spent on makeup this year, but this is just a rough estimate and I feel like it's probably pretty close. The number came out to right around $576 for the whole year, which I feel pretty good about that number. I didn't set a goal this year. I wasn't on a low buy or any sort of beauty budget this year. I feel like that's pretty good considering makeup is also a hobby of mine, and I think that's a reasonable amount of money for me on my own budget to spend on a hobby in a year. And it's also a little bit of an investment because I do have a channel, and I do want to start taking that investment piece into account when I'm thinking about how much money I want to be spending next year on makeup, because it is important for me to be able to purchase products and specifically for the purpose of reviewing them on my channel, because I do really enjoy reviewing products, and that is a pretty significant part of my channel. So I don't even know what I'm saying here. But anyway, for the year it was around $575, which it really varies month to month. There were some months where I only spent $5 on makeup, and there were some months where I spent $100 or so. So it really kind of depends on the month. But if you take 576 divided by 12, the average I spent per month is $48. So about $50 a month, I think it's safe to say. Question number 2, do you ever feel guilty about how much you spend on makeup? Sometimes. I feel like I have this feeling of guilt anytime I'm spending money on something that might be seen as frivolous or shallow, like makeup or clothing, especially clothing. I don't know what it is. Like, for some reason when I go buy a bunch of clothes, I feel kind of bad, even if I actually need clothes, you know? So, and it's not like I've ever really had a spending problem when it came to clothing or makeup or beauty products. I feel like I've always had it under control. So I don't know where that feeling of guilt comes from. I guess part of it is, you know, I am on a budget, especially right now. I feel like for the first time in a while, I'm feeling it's all subjective, but I've felt pretty good financially for the past like 2 years. And this past month, you may or may not know, I moved across the country, and for the first time I'm living on my own in an apartment. So before this I had a roommate when I lived in Seattle. So the move, obviously moving is expensive no matter how you do it. I feel like I did it in the cheapest way that I could, but long story short, I'm feeling a little bit stressed about money right now just because I just spent a lot of money on moving and now I have to furnish a whole apartment. So right now more than ever, I think I feel guilty whenever I spend on something that's not like an absolute necessity at this moment. So I guess for the next month or so, I'm probably not going to be buying very much makeup. And I did feel kind of guilty when my Ulta order came in a couple weeks ago, because I did place an Ulta order during Black Friday, and that was like right before I moved, so I wasn't as conscious of the amount of money I was about to spend on like shipping all my stuff and everything. So I did feel kind of guilty, like maybe I shouldn't have bought this stuff, but it's okay. It's all a learning experience, I think. Question number 3, do you get FOMO related to makeup releases? Not really. I feel like lately I have been more, and more because as a YouTuber, I feel this kind of pressure to have products to talk about. And sometimes I worry that I talk about the same products over and over again because I don't have a huge makeup collection, and I worry that that might be boring people, or that I could be better at what I'm doing if I had more products to compare. And so I feel like right now, because I really do want to grow my channel and I'm trying to strike a balance between being a responsible makeup consumer for myself and my own like bank account, but also to have interesting content to share, and how to know when I'm buying a product because I actually want it and or it's going to be a valuable addition to my collection for my channel purposes, and when I'm just buying something because I feel like I have to get it, you know? And I don't know, I don't feel like it's caused a problem for me at this point, but I do need to sit down soon and just think about how I'm gonna draw that line for myself, I guess, as I'm getting to this point where I really do want to grow my channel, and I don't want to like just be a project panning channel, you know, because that's not all I want to do. I want to be able to review products. I want there to be more to my channel than just that, but at the same time I don't want my collection to get out of control either. So, and I'm at a point also where I'm not receiving very much PR, so yeah, I don't know, it's kind of tricky. Number 4, do you purchase or keep items simply because they're limited edition? No, it's the opposite. I am pretty much always turned off from a product if it's limited edition. And a lot of that goes back to me being a YouTuber and knowing that it's only going to be valuable for that short time, and then later on no one's going to be able to buy it anymore. And obviously it would still be interesting for me to talk about for the people who do have it, but I don't know, it's just kind of a turnoff. It also bothers me because I feel like brands release limited edition products just to grab people's attention really quickly. And it works, it obviously works, because when you see that limited edition label on something, you're like, oh, I have to get it now because it's gonna be gone soon, which totally makes sense from a marketing perspective, but I just feel like it's a cheap way for brands to sell products fast. Number 5, would you be willing to pay more money for a sold out product online? No. I feel like usually when sold out products are being sold online, they're being sold by like third-party sellers, like either on like Poshmark or eBay or I don't know, sketchy places. And I wouldn't want to spend more money for something that's only worth what it was worth before. Yeah, that just seems gross to me. I don't know. I know people do it and I'm sure people have had good luck with it, but I just like to stick to either brand websites or the main retailers like Ulta, Sephora, Target. Especially after seeing Broken, that first episode of Broken on Netflix, where they were talking about counterfeit makeup, and I did not realize that counterfeit makeup was as big of an issue as it is. And so now I'm even more wary of anything sold by a third-party seller. This is an interesting one. Number 6, do you wish you could spend more or less? I don't feel like the need to spend less. I feel like I'm happy with where my spending was this year for the most part. In some ways, I do wish I could spend more. You know, I was realizing something recently. It sometimes seems like influencers just have unlimited money available to them. Does anyone else ever feel that way? I'm like, where do they get all this money to just do these like Target shop with me's or clothing hauls or anything? And I'm just like, where do they get all this money? Do they just have, maybe they're just making a ton of money on YouTube, and and I'm not talking about huge channels either, you know, even like mid-sized ones. I'm kind of like, maybe they have a rich husband. I don't know. But I sometimes sit there and wonder, and I do feel a little jealous because I wish I could have more to offer in some ways. And I know that a lot of my viewers come to me for project panning content and like shopping my stash type videos, which is good because I like doing those videos and they're very budget friendly for me because they only require me to use what I already have. But I do want to start doing more review videos and just incorporating more different kinds of content into my channel because I do feel like my videos have gotten a little repetitive this year. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Number 7, do you feel compelled to buy something when you see it in someone else's collection? Not always. Sometimes I do. When I watch makeup collection videos where the person has like a huge makeup collection, I don't feel the need to buy anything after I see that. I kind of admire it from afar. Like I can appreciate what it would be like to have a large collection, but it does not make me want to buy everything, if that makes sense. It kind of makes me glad that I have a small collection, because I think I would feel overwhelmed if I had that many products. When a YouTuber that I really like and I know has similar preferences to me recommends a product and speaks really highly of a product, I do feel the urge to buy it, but I usually like to put a little more thought into it first, and I like to kind of let things simmer in my mind a little bit before I just jump at it and buy them. It's very rare that I buy something immediately after someone talks about it in a video, so I guess not really is the answer to that. Number 8, do you buy more during the holidays? Not this year. I don't know about previous years. I feel like not really, because this time of year I'm trying to buy gifts for other people, and so there's only so much that I can budget towards that, and I'm not so much thinking of myself. Also because I usually put a few beauty items that I am interested in on my Christmas list, and I'd prefer to wait and see if I end up getting it for Christmas before I go out and buy it. So it almost keeps me from buying makeup. At least that's how I'm feeling about it this year. Also, I'm just really I guess you could say I'm sort of on a no-buy right now, unofficially. Just while I'm having to budget a lot towards furniture and things like that. So this holiday season for sure, I am not interested. Also, the holiday sets and holiday limited edition products really do not call to me at all. I'm kind of turned off by those products. They just seem cheap to me. I don't know what it is. And yeah, there's a lot of great value kits available during the holidays, but again, I'm just kind of like, ew, just get it away from me. Like, I don't need the temptation. Number 9, have you ever hidden a makeup purchase from family or friends? No, I've never needed to do that, and I'm glad that I can say I've never been at a point with my makeup spending that I was embarrassed for my family or friends to know about it. Sometimes I'll see people joking like, ooh, I don't want my husband to see that I'm getting this huge Sephora package in the mail today. I hope I never get to that point. Number 10, do you have more than 10 products in your collection that you have not used in over a month? Oh wow, that's a good question. I would say probably yes. Like I can think of, oh yeah, definitely. Like thinking of even just my lipsticks alone, and then like single shadows I haven't used. Oh, absolutely. There's definitely at least 10 that I haven't used in a month. I couldn't tell you how many exactly, but I mean, that's just the reality. I mean, I wouldn't say I have a tiny collection. Like I have like probably 30 lipsticks. That in itself, there's no way I could use 30 lipsticks in a month unless I used a different one every day, which I definitely have not. That's an interesting question. I like that one. Number 11, have you ever been pressured to purchase something you could not afford or did not need? I don't feel like I've ever been pressured. I guess, how do you define pressure? Like somebody in my life like pressuring me to buy something for myself? No. Maybe like the external pressure from YouTube? Probably. I would say yes. The Norvina palette from Anastasia, the original one in the purple packaging, the 14 pan palette, not the newer Norvina palettes. That was one of the few products that I ever bought the day that it launched. In fact, it might be the only one I've ever bought the day that it launched. And I think I bought it because at the time I sort of felt this obligation to buy it because I already had Modern Renaissance, Soft Glam, and Subculture, so I almost felt the need to complete my collection of Anastasia palettes. Now I certainly don't feel the need to buy every Anastasia palette that comes out, but back then I did, and I was really pressuring myself. I mean, no one else was responsible for that decision but me, but in a way I did feel obligated to buy that palette even though I most definitely did not need it, and I almost regretted buying it for a while because I didn't really like it towards the beginning of when I had it. Now I actually do like it more than I did then, so I guess I'm glad I bought it, but at the same time I did not. I felt the pressure to buy it because I wanted it and I wanted to get a review up early, which that was also a learning experience because I realized that I need more time, I guess, than the average YouTuber to test out a product and use it a lot before I can really feel like I can post a review. So I think I was still like a month past the release date when I posted my review, and like no one watched it because of that. So that was kind of my lesson, that I'm just not gonna be that YouTuber that's like the first person to post a review. I just can't in good conscience review something when I've only had it for like a week. Unless, I guess I could do that, maybe. I'm not gonna say never, because maybe in the future I'll get better at it, but I guess if I were to do that, I would have to use the palette every day that week, and like you make sure I've used every shade and like really tested each shade at least once, if not twice. Like I'd have to like really dedicate my time to testing it out for that week instead of just kind of dabbling in it for a few weeks, you know? Anyway, where am I even going with this? But yeah, I guess I have been pressured. I believe that really when you're pressured to do something, it's your own mind that's pressuring you. Even if you feel like someone else is pressuring you, you have the power to decide whether or not you're gonna do it. Do you purchase makeup for collector reasons? Not anymore. The only time I ever sort of felt like a collector was when I was sort of collecting ABH palettes, but now I'm just, no, it just doesn't make sense for me to do that. And then finally, the last question, in your makeup journey, have you become less or more consumeristic? Definitely more. I'm still happy with where I am. I don't feel like I've become overly consumeristic and materialistic with makeup or anything like that. I feel like I'm still pretty responsible with my purchasing, but I mean, before I started this makeup journey, I only had like a small makeup bag for all my makeup, and I would pan things before panning was even a thing. Not to sound super hipster, but you know, I mean, I know a lot of people did this, and a lot of people still do this, like normal people who don't have 20 blushes. I remember using up an entire CoverGirl Cheekers blush in high school, and I would use up my foundations before. I would have one foundation and I would use it up before I went to buy a new one. That was just normal, you know, because that's kind of what normal people do. It's the same way if you have a bag of rice in your pantry, you're not gonna go buy 5 more bags of the same type of rice before you finish that one, you know, unless you find it on like a really good sale and you're stocking up. But you know what I mean? Like, or you're not gonna have like 10 backups of milk in your fridge. It just doesn't work that way. Makeup was just more a practical thing in my day-to-day life, as opposed to now I enjoy having a few different foundations to choose from or a few different blushes to choose from. And I do see the value in having a few different types of blushes. But yes, I have become more consumeristic because I'm just buying more products so that I can review them, so that I can talk about them on my channel, just so that I can test them out and compare them and just have options, because I like that. But I still feel like I'm at a very healthy level of that, or healthy for me, and that's gonna mean something different for everyone. So I think that wraps up this tag. What a fun video to film. I mean, to be honest, I really needed something kind of quick and easy to film because I don't even have all my makeup unpacked yet, but I still want to film and post videos while I'm getting things set up. So it seemed like a fun way to wrap up the year. So thank you, Jen, for the inspiration, and thank you, 90s Love Child, for coming up with these awesome tag questions. If I see anyone else do the tag before I post this, I'll definitely link them down below as well, so you have more to watch. But I think that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait to get back to filming. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in forever, even though I did just post a vlog, but before that, all of my videos had been pre-filmed like weeks ago, so it's good to be back. But happy holidays, and I can't wait to see you very soon in my next video. Bye.